One of the perks of being a wildlife photographer is being able to go out in the rain and not be considered crazy. The wildlife is still out here, even if it's bad weather, so in today's adventure, we set off with my camera and all of my wet weather gear to see what wildlife we could find. But let's jump back to the beginning of the story. To most people, this video is a wildlife photographer going out and taking photos in a beautiful area, even if it's a bit of a wet day. But this adventure resonated with me a bit more than normal, and throughout the video I'm going to tell you why. We avoid going out in the rain, but the water is beautiful, isn't it? The way it flows and drips, the sounds. The feeling's probably the worst part, and keeping the equipment dry. But there's something to be said about the beauty and the power that comes down with the rain. And we have arrived at Black Pond. This is a body of water in Esher Common, and it's somewhere I haven't been before, so we're going to be doing some wildlife photography here. Today I've brought with me my Canon 250D and my Sigma 150 to 600mm lens. I'll show you them in more detail once I've set up. But first of all, let's just take a look at the pond. So I can see in the distance we have a coot and a older chick. Hello. Hello. It's been visited by a dog. We have a habit of complaining about the weather. We all fall guilty to it, where we accuse it of keeping us inside and stopping us from having fun. Sometimes it can even make us feel depressed. And the rain can kind of represent more than just that. It can represent failures, or a plan that hasn't gone to plan. The breakdown of friendships or even relationships. And so many more difficulties in life. Just like the rain, we can't stop these things, they come and go. But eventually the sun will shine again. And it's all about choosing to appreciate the rain. I found this trip great fun. I loved coming out in the rain. The elements tested me. It was a new environment. I had to learn and change my behaviours. But in the end, it was joyful. And I think the message that this adventure really brought out was to find the beauty in the rain. It is the peak of British summertime. It's actually the 5th of August today, and that means it's in the middle of the summer. Yeah, I'm wearing a beanie because the weather feels like it's the winter. It's overcast, rainy, cold, and just a bit drab. That obviously does pose a problem when it comes to wildlife photography, as we struggle with lighting. Hence, my big tripod setup I've got here. I'm currently in an open area, which means I'm feeling the rain a little bit more. When I was by the pond, I was under a tree. I'm also walking over a bridge. I found another bench, which means it's time to show you my setup in more detail. So because it's raining, I have my poncho draped over my camera setup. The lens is coming through the hood, which means if I had to, I could then sit underneath the remaining area of the poncho and stay dry as well. It's got some poppers which are attaching it to the legs, which means it won't blow away. When I lift that up, you can see my camera and lens under here. I'm going to leave it like that. So here we have the Canon 250D. This is a very small and relatively budget camera. However, it can be used for very good video and photos when you're out in the field. It's not weatherproof or weather sealed though, so I don't want to get it wet. I have the Sigma 150 to 600mm lens. This is weather sealed, however it's not weatherproof, so I'm still going to keep it nice and dry. This is a 150 to 600mm lens, meaning I get lots and lots of zoom and can photograph and film wildlife that's quite a long way away. This setup, however, is relatively heavy, so I've got it on my Newear carbon fibre heavy duty gimbal. This gimbal allows me to move this camera very simply. It's weighed down by the poncho at the moment, but it's a very simple way of moving the gimbal and makes it very smooth for video. Finally, it's all on my KNF tripod legs. All the links are in the description if you want to go check them out, and I've reviewed each of these products in their own videos. Again, links will be in the description or on my channel. And the rain has suddenly picked up. So I'm in the middle of nowhere, tied in the poncho. It's wet rain. It's very wet rain. I might have to make a dash for some trees because this isn't good. That came on so suddenly. Very wet. We're all good. We're all good. Everything is dry. There was part of me thinking, is this poncho really waterproof? But it is. We're covered. Now we've just got to wait for the rain to stop and see if it's worth going out and trying to get more photos. It's only getting worse, guys. I found myself a good bit of tree cover, so I'm not feeling it quite as much, but when I get to the edge near the opening where it's just heathland, you feel the wind and the rain. I scanned it with my binoculars, as you will have seen. There's not much out there. The wildlife is hiding because of the rain, and I'm not sure I can risk it getting my equipment wet for the very minimal amount of wildlife there is out here. So I think I'm going to head back to my car and hope I don't get drenched in the process. And there we have it, my friends, another adventure out where the weather wasn't ideal, but we did get some cool footage, especially at first. The experience was fun. I love going out in slightly more extreme weather. It makes it a bit funner, and I hope you enjoyed. Comment if you have any questions, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.